Everything started basically with a dream, a way to live differently.
D&M is a cooperative that was founded in Amsterdam in 2018, and it is organized and built around the idea of commons and common ownership. This is ownership of materials, of resources, of essentially a house. And it is formed essentially to design, build, and live in and manage a house in Amsterdam-Oost as a community, so as a kind of collective entity.
Right now it's a tower, a small tower, 7 stories, together with a smaller part of plinth attached to it of either 1 or 2 stories. I think the main feature is that we have a patio where you enter the building, and from there you can enter all the individual houses and the shared lobby at the base of the tower. And I think that patio, which is going to probably feature one tree, maybe in the middle, would be the heart of the community.
The ideas behind the nieuwe Meent really were, they come from many different kind of origins, but at the kind of base of them is a real concern within Amsterdam over affordable housing, a concern more broadly shared by kind of activists about how to make a different form of housing that is both accountable for the people who live in them, but also accountable and resilient to the challenges of the 21st century. So more specifically around climate changes, resource kind of concerns, etc. We've kind of dealt with this idea of sustainability through kind of 2 different ways. One is through the process of designing, building, and maintaining a physical entity. So this idea of the house as a kind of fixed entity, and that requires water, energy, materials to design, build, make, and kind of maintain it. So that's kind of one part. And then the second part is on the social sustainability. Mm-hmm. So how can you build a community? How can you build or bring together groups of people, very different people, in a way that they can live, they can share in a space, and that is the social sustainability of the house, which is equally as important as the kind of physical elements.
The nieuwe Meent is about building not only a building, but it's about building a new way to build buildings, to develop new projects. The main goal I would like to achieve with the D&M project is to set a procedure or a standard, or both a procedure and a standard, in the way that buildings will be built in the near future in Amsterdam and possible in the Netherlands.
This project will be one of the first projects that really adopts this idea of circular economy from the design phase through the building right the way into use. And this really allows us as sustainability research to really test whether these ideas are more effective than how we're doing things at the moment, right? And it allows us to really demonstrate, okay, we can build communities in a different kind of way that are both fantastic for building kind of social communities, but also show that we can actually damage the environment, in a much less kind of profound way. And I think that's the kind of really exciting opportunity here. Is like you have the opportunity to do something really different.
We have a consultation process, right? Because what is comfortable for you could be different for me to other persons. So what we have is assemblies, and we really have a participatory approach where everyone has a saying on the vision they have about their house, because it's not a building, it will be their home, and they need to have a vision of how the home would look like in the future.
Also, it's very important that the community is built and present, because that's what's specific for this project, that there is no developer, so there is no party that will develop the project, but the people are going to build the project. So by doing that, they will also build relationships in between each other. And a part of the fact that they will build a community, after that the community will also run the building. So this building is not just a project that starts with the building and then finish with the building. It really starts with the building and then continues for next 100 years with living organism, which should maintain the building, organize it, and manage it.
I would like that investors reflect how much is the profit they want to make. Or I would like to see that they reflect that the profits that they can make are not only in terms of money, right? There could be benefits for the city And if they live in Amsterdam, for example, they could benefit from this kind of projects as well.
The way we're doing things at the moment, it just can't last, you know? It just, there's the impacts we're having, the social fragmentation we're having, it just can't go on. And I think this can be the start of something really exciting. We can really try and do something really different here, especially in Amsterdam. And Amsterdam has a long history of kind of social and cooperative housing, and now there's a new way in which we can try and empower people, and people can be empowered to be more involved in this kind of process. And that's something that we actually, as a cooperative, want to aim to do in the long term. You know, after the nieuwe Meent is done, it can be a blueprint, or it can be a way to support other communities or other housing groups who want to try and do this as well.